Welcome to the show today. Today I have Daniel Gradenegger on the show, who is the co-founder of Muume and AnnaNow, and he's also I think a 30 times entrepreneur. So he's one of those hardcore entrepreneurs who just can't do and be anything else but be an entrepreneur. We had a great conversation 2 weeks ago, last week, over beer. And we scheduled this interview today because I find your story so fascinating. So let's dive right in there. So Daniel, tell us a little bit about who are you and what's your story that got you to where we are today now?
Thank you very much, Danny, for having this conversation. So I'm one of these strange or crazy guys who are not fitting into normal things, schemas or whatever it is. It started very early in my life. With 7 years, I had my first computer. It's now 35 years ago. And it fascinated me from the beginning, from my first minute. It was like a big love with all this computer stuff. And since till today, it's still a big love. And all this tech stuff, it was always haunting me, and it was always interesting me. And so in the early years, we started with some network with friends, and we did software stuff and programming, other stuff. And with around 20, I founded my first company. So my real company, I did sales before, but so it becomes more serious. It was a partnership website. It was one of the very first one. It was like 2-3 years too early, as later on the big website started. But it was still a good business for me, and I did a lot of small stuff. As a Swiss, I always thought I have to finance it all by myself. I have to do it very small in the beginning, and then I can grow slowly. And it has to give from the first customer some revenues and so on and so forth. Today, I think a little different, as I think in scaling processes, how we can finance big stuff, how we can reach millions of customers, and so on and so forth. This is my today thinking, but it needed like 20 years to come to this point today, where I have these two companies, Muume, which is a payment company, which anyway needs network effects to become big. And also AnnaNow, which is a platform of digital organized deliveries, insurance. Also, these things needs network effects because it's organized by the crowd. Crowd anyway needs network effect, and for this today you need big investors to push it.
Now this is very fascinating because you're Swiss and I'm Swiss. And we both speak Swiss German, right? But we have this conversation now in English so that the world can actually watch in and understand things. And, we both grew up in a similar culture. Like you mentioned these things before, as Swiss, you go out there and like, oh, we have to finance it all by myself. It's about one step at a time in terms of revenue, in terms of growth. And, but I think both you and me, we both became a little bit addicted or not addicted, but we started to dive into this a little bit more American way of thinking, maybe not completely, still with the Swiss sanity to it, I guess. And
yeah, absolutely.
It's an interesting combination, right? Because these are completely different cultures. So you have grown dramatically over the past 20 years as an entrepreneur in some incredible ways. I mean, there's very, very few people that I know who started 30 companies and built some very wildly successful companies along the way. So I'm curious about, your story as an entrepreneur. What were some of the biggest challenges? And I'm not talking about specific companies now. I want to have a more holistic view, but what were some of the biggest challenges along the way as an entrepreneur over the past 10 or 20 years for you that you had to overcome?
Yeah, this is a Swiss stuff. As a Swiss, you know exactly what I will tell you, because always people said, learn something and search a nice job, stay there all your life. Okay, people are really programmed in Switzerland. They have it really. This is a mindset. Do proper education, no failure, nowhere, always good marks, and do everything for it, and go to UBS or to one of the big guys or to the government, and you will have a nice salary all your life, and you can work from 8 to 5 and everything is good. And then I tried to do that. Yeah, I was several times. I was also employed during my self-employment time. When I closed the business, I sold it, or it was closed by it was not functioning or whatever. If you do a lot of companies, there is also sometimes possibility to failure. And this is exactly the problem in Switzerland. Failure is no option. In Switzerland, failure is no option. If you do only a little failure, yeah, your life is shut down in the social or in the public where we're living here in Switzerland. Everybody will point you. Maybe this slowly is changing, but it's still here because the most of the people think, okay, this guy, he tries to be self-employed, but he likes to do. It cannot be. He worked like 2 weeks ago in my company, and now he tries to do a company by himself. This never ever will functioning. So this is one of the reasons why I'm not fitting to this stuff. I don't know, you cannot choose who you are, but in my brain always it's an analytic stuff is ongoing, and I try to do the things better or different. Try it, and if it works better, then I like to go on. If it's worse, then I need to search again, try out again, and so on and so forth till found. I cannot change that. This is somewhere inside me. It's programmed. Also, like others like to have the whole life, the same job. But this is not functioning in a big company, because they need really the people. They do what they have as a function. That's it. And if you are happy to do that all your life, then perfect. And this is one of the biggest issues I have in all my career as an entrepreneur. Everywhere you are going, if you do not have a track record, nobody believes that you can do it. You do not have the support. As now today, I have a track record, and I know I did some companies wrong. I do not have debts or something. This is again Swiss stuff. I always check it out that I do not have debts. Also that I don't shoot on others or that other lost because of me. I always check it out that nobody will lose anything. The Swiss style stuff. So when I closed the company, it was for all good. Nobody lost something. But if you want something, then it becomes again strange to Swiss people. This is really one of the issues. They cannot understand that one of the same level in the public or in the society we have here is changing. This become again strange. And one of the biggest problem I had also to fight is I lost a lot of friends because of that. I tried to motivate them to work with me on something, and they did not believe in me, and they did not believe in the vision, and they did not do the effort. So these are not all, sure, but this is my experience where I lived with people I lived together, and I know also some other entrepreneur friends had similar problems.
No, yeah, I mean that's huge. I mean, and I can very much sentiment with that as a Swiss, very much, very very much. So it's really interesting, also I think for Swiss, but also for other people who are not Swiss to hear this, to understand the culture a little bit better, also kind of like where we're coming from, and you know we didn't grow up in Silicon Valley where, you know, this is basically born into people, right? So it's a very different way we go about these things. Very, very fascinating story. Thank you so much. So want to dive a little bit into the now, talking about AnnaNow as well a little bit. But in general, what is most exciting for you right now? What you're working on? What are some of the most exciting projects you're working on right now?
I have really an exciting time as both of my companies are really in a good growing process. We have with Muume one of our biggest clients, for example, is a German sport ID card, which is maintaining 28 million customers. And we are doing with them one of the digital steps. So we help to do out of an ID card, a bank card or a payment card. And we connect it to a cell phone, and with the cell phone and the card, we have features how to book a badminton center or how to purchase new turn shoes and so on, or sport shoes, and so on and so forth. That really is a fascinating thing because we can move IDs of 28 million people. How else we could do that? Or how you can else win 28 million customers? It is not the only one customer we have. So very fascinating time in front of us. Also, we have other retail customers, and it, as they slowly begin to think digital. This was not so easy. The last 8 years we did that because the word was not even invented. Digital. This is a word which coming up the last few years. Now everybody is a digital guy. Even he had never programmed one line of code. He is a completely digital guy and likes to tell how good he is. Yes, there are really some crazy guys too on the market, but these are only a few. And this is one of the problem to understand with who you talk sometimes. And if you go deeper in, then you see it starts stopping. With AnnaNow, we onboarded 1,200 customers now in the last 5 months. And there are some very, very big clients. So this is, I never started a company which is growing that crazy. And we do every day more deliveries. We onboard every day big companies. I never could imagine, because normally in Switzerland, you know, I come back again to this stuff. In Switzerland, normally you need a trail of 10 years, and then you have 5 customers, and maybe I'm not sure, maybe you're too young company. Is this company stable enough to work with you? Because we are big, you are a small one, and so on and so forth. With AnnaNow, it is crazy. They all on board with us like we are an old company. Like nobody's asking anything, because the business is completely, extremely clear, very understandable. And digitalization normally is a little complex and complicated for big companies, because you have to change a lot of system, infrastructure, and other stuff, or mindset of employees. If you have 10,000 employees, change the mindset of 10,000 employees. This is a brutal stuff you have to do in digitalization process or in a digitalization step. And with AnnaNow, because the product is so simple, we can grow extremely fast. Very, very exciting time.
Thank you so much for elaborating on it. You know, when we had the first conversation, I was really also inspired, not only because of your crazy entrepreneurial track record, but also because of what you tell me about the companies, because there's, you know, it is very much in Switzerland this, you know, let's just take it slow and let's just see if we can maybe make one step and, you know, think very small. And you are the complete opposite. Obviously you had 20 years of brainwashing, but you're now the complete opposite. And to me, it's fascinating how you grow these kinds of companies and how you work together with others. We talked about outsourcing and things like that. And I remember I asked you, so how are you able to make companies like that grow so incredibly fast? And one of your answers was, well, I just simply outsource everything. Basically, I just focus on our core business and the rest is just completely outsourced. And maybe just quickly, let's talk about this very, very quickly, because I'm very interested, like, because you've been scaling these companies on a dramatic scale.
Yes.
So how do you, when you say outsourcing, what do you mean? Do you just outsource the software development, or how do you work with outsourcing? How are you able to scale companies like that, and not just one, but a variety of companies at the same time? How do you work with that?
Okay, I organized always that I am not the CEO of the company, because if you are the CEO of the company, you have to do all this. Sorry, to all CEOs out there, you have to do all this bullshit stuff people are asking you, and it's blocking the whole day with customer reactions and other stuff, and they all ask for the CEO. Sorry, all CEOs, you are working like the crazy guys, and you have all the pressure on you. But you have no free mind really to how you can grow the stuff. So I'm always a little behind. I founded normally the companies and try to be somewhere behind to keep a little free time, free mind to think about the stuff and to watch the people, what they are doing, how they work, and so on and so forth. And what I learned, I did that like 20 times wrong. I did not understand that if nobody tells you, you have to learn it hard. And I learned it hard. So if you spend your own money, if you employ them all, you grow very slow, because as a Swiss, again, you like to do that with your own money, so you can grow as soon as you have a little revenue, you can do a little more, but very careful, and yeah, first think 2 times and then do it. And today I know I organize an ID. I do the proof of concept by myself with my money. I do a minimal viable product. I search for the first customers by myself. As I have a little network, some of the customers believe in me that I will not bullshit them again. And as soon as I have that, I search for money, investor money, and people. So we need also to grow in people and also in software and in other stuff. And if you like to grow fast, you cannot do it by yourself. Imagine how you employ 10 people, or imagine how you employ 500 people. If you like to employ 500 people, you do the only day, nothing else than employing people. What's happened to the company? So with AnnaNow, we had to learn, if you like to employ till end of the next year 20,000 postmen. So this is a crazy process. So we need somehow to outsource that. Else our company is completely blocked only with that. Or we need to have the core software people, we need to have in-house. But some things, they are already invented. You do not have to do it again and again and again. So try to buy it, to have time to market. Normally in the beginning it seems to be more expensive sometimes, but it isn't. It costs you much more because you need a year to develop it. You need a lot of money. You do it 10 times wrong, and so on and so forth. Yes, this thing you buy from outside is also not 100% perfect, but for the moment it's quite good. And as soon as you start to earn a good money with it, you can develop it to earn even more, but not before. And so I try to do all external. So we have a delivery company which has no delivery guys. We do insurance, but we are not an insurance. And we do development, but we only do the core development, and the rest we spread. Yes, we could say we like to have the gate in our hands when we connect to online shops and big companies. But these guys, they have already development companies, and it's much easier. Give it to them, they do the whole stuff. And like that, we can work with the 10,000 companies. And we can onboard 10,000 companies, or we have on our plan 25,000 companies till end of the next year. If we would do that all by ourselves, it is impossible to employ the people which has to develop gates to 20,000 companies. Imagine that. It is crazy stuff, and it costs too much. So we buy it externally.
Love it. I love it. It's very, very inspiring. I mean, because the way you think about this, most people do not think about this that way. I mean, just a couple of things to recap, and then I want to talk a little bit about the future. But what you said is basically, I try to make sure I'm never the CEO of the company. And it's really interesting. I had a couple of talks with entrepreneurs who realized that at one point, who were CEO for 10 years, and then they fired themselves as CEO and became chief visionary officer, or whatever they want to call themselves, because then they freed themselves up with management, because they had 200 people in the company and they were just managing all day long. And it's not, they're entrepreneurs, they're not managers. Like, you're an entrepreneur, you're not a manager. I'm not a manager. We entrepreneurs, we're not managers. So we want to make sure that we're not falling into this trap of being a manager, but we are truly the entrepreneur. And not only when we're starting the company, but also when we're scaling and growing it, and even when it needs management. But then we can hire somebody to be CEO.
Absolutely.
And we can really focus on being the visionary, focus on being, you call yourself Chief Business Development Officer. Love that title. It's great. It's maybe something you invented. I don't know. There's more and more people calling themselves like this. And it makes a lot of sense, because then you can focus on that. And also, from a status perspective, you hire a CEO and you can just really simply point everybody to him. It's like, hey, I need to talk to the CEO. Okay, great. It's not me. It's not me. It's this guy. Talk to him. So this is something so crucial. And I think more people need to hear this message, and also need to hear more about how you organize that, because you just said, if you really want to go big, you can't do it by yourself. I mean, we can really do nothing by ourselves. I mean, by ourselves, we are so small and limited. And once we understand that, it's not about hiring as many people as we can, but it's about leveraging what's already out there and creating win-win-win situations for all the stakeholders that are involved and could be potentially involved in your ecosystem, in what you're building, I think then we're getting ahead. So I just wanted to make these 2 points and now transition a bit into the future. Now, we started to talk a bit about that already, but with AnnaNow, you're especially with AnnaNow as well, you're kind of like rewriting on that future wave of retail and where we're going with delivery and things like that. So talk to me a little bit about retail in the future. What would you say will be the main differences in the next 5 to 10 years of how we do things today and how we will probably do things then?
Very, very important question. We need to understand everything become faster. I told you that already, maybe in one meeting we had. A few years ago, as I wrote a letter, it needed maybe a week or two. Everything was happy. I had no faster expectations as it was. I did not wrote every day a letter. It was clear. If I wrote something, it was something concrete. Yeah. A few years later, then the email was invented. If I write an email today, I expect within a day an answer. If I don't get the answer, you know that, or all of you know that, I get somehow a little angry. This guy takes me serious or not? Maybe he has a lot to do. He's a CEO or whatever. I wait another day, but where is the answer? Okay, then WhatsApp and other stuff started, Slack and chats. Okay, if you write me something in Skype, you like to have an answer within next minutes. In WhatsApp, as before the blue signs, you had an expectation of seconds, and now today it is, if the blue signs are there in the WhatsApp, you know the guy read it, no answer. Do the guy takes me serious or not? What's wrong with this guy? Where is the answer? So I keep my phone in front of me and I'm waiting. Where is the answer? And exactly this is the problem of retail. This calls the instant gratification. If you order something, deliver it now. Do not wait another few hours. Deliver it now. The customer is hungry. Give him the food. Doesn't matter what it is. He is hungry. Give it to him. If you cannot, it is the last time you will have this customer for the next few orders he will do. He will only change if the next retail company is also not giving him the food. But before he comes back to this one who also not gave the food, he will try a third one. So expectation of the customer, take it and do it. If you cannot do it, sell your company now.
Now this is really interesting. It's kind of like, you know, it's because it's how the culture changed. You know, it used to be, okay, we're sending a letter, we're expecting an answer maybe within a week, right? And then this thing email, you know, maybe within a day, and then, you know, everything mobile basically. Now we're expecting within minutes or hours or instantly even. And it's really interesting how you made the comparison to retail, because it's sort of like exactly where it's going. And I have this experience myself, right? And I think most people have when they order something on Amazon or somewhere, and it doesn't really matter where you order it from. And sometimes I order stuff from the US and I go like, okay, your delivery will take 24 to 31 days. I'm like, what? How long?
Where I can buy it, where I get it faster. This is very, very important. And this is something which is hardwired, a very hardwired stuff. This is inside us since a long, long time. Try to don't brief. Only because I tell you that, try to don't brief, immediately you like to brief. Okay, as soon as you're hungry, there is no more minute to wait. Because you are hungry, where's the food? Okay. If my friend says at lunchtime, can we go in a half hour? No, I'm hungry now. So, and this is inside us. As soon as I know somewhere I can have the food now, or I can have the brief now, I like to breathe and I like to eat. This is something hardwired. And as soon as I know it's here, I will go where it is. If the other cannot deliver it now, thank you very much for your offering. I go there where I can have.
So this is really interesting. So I'm curious about how is this? How does it work? Like, how does it actually work? Because, like, if I order something, well, it needs to be packaged, it needs to be shipped, it needs to be delivered. So how does it? How does instant delivery work? Like, how does it work?
Yeah, it starts before the delivery already. With Muume, we have 26 tools how you can buy something, how you can order it, reorder it, or whatever order you need to buy it. How you get connected to the merchant, or how you get connected to the product. You do not have so many products. You have a few hundred products for your daily life. It's the same butter, the same bread. If something is changing, or the same beer, if someone tells you try this beer, you're skeptic, because you know which beer you like. If he brings another one, you're pretty sure it's not the thing you like. So you don't need really a lot. Sometimes some products and wishes are coming, and maybe a new car, you don't buy that so often, but people are willing today to buy it online. So between how we say the suppliers and the end customers, today there are several steps. Maybe it starts in China and it's going to someone else, and so on and so forth, to another company, and to another company, till it ends in the store. And this whole chain now is breaking off, as we see it with Alibaba, for example. They do 1.5 billion packages at the 11th. This is 1,500 million packages a day. You need to understand, Hermes is doing at the day Christmas time 2 million packages a day. Hermes is one of the big delivery companies in Germany, 2 million packages. This guy sold 1.5 billion packages. Crazy numbers, not talking about the turnover, only about the packages. So how you can move 1.5 billion packages? This is something which we will face in future much more. And for all these guys, they missed 10 years ago doing a web strategy or an online shop strategy, missed also the mobile shop strategy, and now they will all miss the digitalization, which really binds the customer to a gate, and the customer will not change that immediately. So it starts before. Then you need to have a really easy purchasing process. I know what I like to have. Yeah, sometimes I'm a little lazy, sit somewhere on the sofa and I have time to go to Wish. Now I go to Wish and I not go to one of the big retailers in Switzerland. I don't know why it is happening. And this is exactly the big problem of the retailer. They don't know what they are doing, and they don't know why they lose customers, and they only are saying, this Wish stuff is not working really, and what bullshit they are selling, and so on and so forth. But you need to be very careful about that. Sooner or later, everything which they sell or they build in China will be, they do anyway, everything there. So soon it will be delivered directly from China to here. And we like to be a part of the last mile. How we can solve everything immediately delivered, this is because we know where is which product available, at what price, and so on and so forth. And this is really a local stuff. We can only deliver fast if this product is locally available. If not, people stop to buy that because it's not available. I change my things or my needs if it's always not available. So this is the possibility for small shops, because again, local stuff, small shops. This is where I live. This could be the race of the small shops again. So small storages with products from my daily life, and in the network they have all products. A lot of different small shops with a lot of different kind of products and service points around me. So, for example, if I order something from MediaMarkt, MediaMarkt mostly is outside of a city. So what I need to do to go to MediaMarkt? This is a very hard stuff. Okay, my wife said, let's go for shopping. Okay, let's do that. So I start to wear my pants, take my shoes. It's Saturday. I have 2 kids. Move there, and I'm in this store. I know what to buy, then, but I'm not finding it. So I wait till someone could help me to find it. For that, I need 15 minutes. Okay. Sorry, I cannot say this word, what I feel, but because we are in an interview, but you will know it. Okay, then I found someone who helped me. I have it in my hand, and then I tried to go to the cashier. Okay. Again, the same people. Because of them, I had to wait till one half time. Again, the same people at the cashier system. Okay, put it somewhere. I do it next week. So where are my children running around? I have two. One is there. One is there. Where is my wife? Okay. Yeah, this is this is my reality. This is really my. I'm 42-year-old guy. I'm not interested anymore in all the fancy and funny stuff. Somewhere, so I'm focused and because I'm a focused guy, I order it online. And with tools, I can order it because I know what in the fastest way I can find it. Or if I reorder it, I scan the barcode. Products are digital. Customers are completely digital. Even they don't know, they are completely digital organized. But retailers today, traditional retailers, are not. And what we are doing, if you order that from home, so that the reason is then I can go to the coffee. If I go to shopping with my wife, I can go to the coffee station. I wait till my wife is finished, and everything is good for me. So I order it, and as soon I sit there, order it from my phone. Next to me is MediaMarkt, but we will not deliver from MediaMarkt. Sooner or later, if MediaMarkt likes not work with us, it's no problem, because we know around me are 100 shops. They have the similar product, and we deliver from them. So now the very important message is, MediaMarkt could be my gate, or Wish could be my gate, or AliExpress. It doesn't matter. It is important, start, connect digitally with the customer, that the gate is open. If MediaMarkt is there, open my gate that I buy it with MediaMarkt. And if a small company has the product regionally, in my region where I live, we can deliver it from the shortest way. Because of that, we do deliveries today under 30 minutes.
Wow, that is amazing. I mean, it's just one key point I wanna emphasize. We spent so many years trying to centralize everything into one massive building where everything is delivered all over Europe. Like Amazon, for example, they have this massive storage hall, and most companies, right? Like when you go from Bern to Basel, you drive next to Migros and the Post deliver and everything, all these massive buildings. And to me, it's fascinating how really in the future, many other things, and even delivery now as well, is becoming more decentralized, and it's an entirely new world opening up for the local piece. Google used to talk so much about local, right, in terms of marketing, but it's really getting there with many other places as well, including delivery. So that's really fascinating. So thank you so much for talking about this and painting a picture of the future and how it could be. So if people want to learn more about you, learn more about AnnaNow, about Muume, where can they go?
Okay, call me. Yeah, go to our websites, and on Muume you can find me. I'm go about us. You can find me there. You can text me or you can write me. You can have my phone number. It's no problem. If you have a great idea, challenge it with me. If you have some issues with digitizing, give me a call. Maybe sometimes a small ID can help a lot. Sometimes I do not have an ID maybe, but we can talk about, and sometimes also that helps, because in the digitalization there is no one solution, because there is one solution and all others are me too. Nobody's interested in the Me Too product, so find your own stuff in the digitalization, find your own nice processes, which are very well accepted by the crowd and by your customers. So if I can help, let's talk about, and yeah, AnnaNow and Muume is open for
Perfect.
that.
Great. So we're going to link below the video to these sources so people can learn more about you, about your work, about the companies, and
Yes.
and connect with you. So thank you so much, Daniel, for being on the show.